Hey there, I'm Brittany Schroeder, and business and marketing are my jam. I'm here to walk you step by step through this crazy thing we call business. I'm a small town girl, chocolate eating, Diet Coke drinking mom, marketing guru, automation Jedi, and all around good time. This is your weekly dose of all things business and life, sprinkled with some fun. This is the Redefine Business Podcast. Welcome to another episode of Redefine Business Podcast. All right, you hear me talking all the time about grow your email list, grow your email list. It's so important. But once you've grown it, then what do you do next, right? That's a question that I get all the time. So in this podcast, I'm going to be talking about how to write an effective email to your subscribers. Email marketing has become one of the best ways to connect with your audience. Email is a direct line to your audience and one of the most powerful tools for driving engagement, conversions, and this long-term brand loyalty that we talk about all the time. But sending out a generic message, it's just not enough. You need to capture attention, build relationships, and make sure your emails leave a lasting impression. This is where thoughtful email design and messaging comes in. Remember that marketing is all about becoming memorable. And when you're showing up in people's inboxes and they know who you are and you're positioning yourself as an expert, that is how you become memorable and that's how you market your business. Today, we're going to explore how to write effective emails for your subscribers and discuss the key components that can help you stand out, including the strategic use of images, your subject line, the content, all the things. By the end, you'll be equipped with actionable tips to craft compelling emails that your audience will actually want to open and engage with. Okay, let's start with the strong subject line. This is really important. Your subject line is the first thing your subscribers see, and it will determine whether your email gets opened or if they skip it. A great subject line, it really piques curiosity and it creates urgency and it provides a clear benefit to the reader. You want it to be short, relevant, and intriguing enough to entice them to take that first step. And that is to open your email. So here are a few tips. You want to make it clear and specific. Tell readers what they'll get out of opening your email. For example, how to build your email list in 30 days or exclusive offer, 20% off our VIP members. Something that is going to tell them exactly what they are getting, right? The next one is use personalization. Including the subscriber's first name in the subject line can increase open rates. An example could be, hey, like Mary, we have a special offer just for you. And you can do this in a lot of software programs, email marketing programs, by just using the @ sign, and then it will give you the option to add their first name. Then the last tip is incorporate a sense of urgency or curiosity. Phrases like last chance or don't miss out. That really encourages readers to open up your emails quickly, while teasers like you won't believe what's inside can really spark curiosity. So if you're needing help, if you're just beginning writing your email and you're like, oh, subject lines are so hard for me, there is a really good tool on a website called subjectline.com. And you can put in your subject line and it will kind of assess it for you and tell you, hey, it's weak or stronger. Here's some suggestions. So that is a really good tool that I use, especially for my clients who are just beginning out. Okay, the next tip is create a personalized greeting. After getting them to open the email, the next step is establishing a personal connection. Starting with a personalized greeting is a simple way to really humanize your email. Instead of saying, dear subscriber, you want to use their first name, such as, hi, Mary, or if you have context about your relationship with them, customize it even further and you can be like, hey, Mary, hope you've enjoyed last week's blog post or social media automation. Those are ways that you can really personalize the email to your subscribers. Okay, the next one is make your message relevant and valuable. People are just inundated with so many emails. So your message needs to stand out by providing real value. The content of your email should be relevant to your subscribers and cater to their needs, interests, or desires. Here are some ways to create valuable content. First, solve a problem or answer a question. Think about what your audience needs or wants to know. Are you offering them tips on how to grow their business, use your product, or improve their personal life? Provide actionable advice and show them that your content can solve their problems. The next tip is whether it's a special discount or an invite to an exclusive event or access to early content, give your audience something that they can't get anywhere else. Then the last one, and this one's so important and it's really powerful, is tell a story. People connect with stories. Share your journey, an inspiring customer success story, or behind the scenes look at your business. This makes your email more engaging and helps build a connection with your audience. So I like to start with a story. I wrote an email recently, and it was, I'm building this personal connection, and I sent pictures of my daughter and her first high school homecoming dance and some of the pictures. And then I kind of started with that, but then I led into, hey, here are some skills that I use both in my business and in my personal life. And I kind of tied it together. So if you can start with a story, it really draws your audience in. Okay, the next tip is keep it concise and focused. While you might be tempted to include all sorts of information in your email, you want to keep it short and sweet. Readers typically scan their emails rather than read them in full. So if your email is too long, you risk losing their attention. Aim to keep the text short and sweet. Focus on the main point or a call to action, and use bullet points to shorten up paragraphs to make the content easy to skim. For example, if you're promoting an upcoming webinar, explain what it's about, why it's valuable, and include a clear button to tell them how they can sign up. If you have multiple offers or updates, consider sending separate emails or using a segmented approach to ensure that the content stays relevant to each subscriber. Kind of a rule of thumb for me, I always say, is 200 words is a good word count. But I also say only have one call to action, because people will leave, they'll click on one button and they might not come back. So if by chance you have to include more than one call to action, try to do the more relevant one first. Okay, let's talk about calls to action. Every email should have a purpose, whether it's driving traffic to your website, encouraging a purchase, or giving subscribers an event or something to sign up for. Make sure to include a clear call to action and tell the readers what to do next. Calls to action can be placed in buttons or link text. Sometimes I do both, but some common call to actions include shop now, download this free guide, sign up for this webinar, read my blog post. So those are examples of calls to action. Make sure the call to action is visually distinct and easy to find. Use action-oriented language that makes the next step clear and simple. You're holding their hand, you're walking them through the journey, right? Okay, the next tip is make it visually appealing. Include an image. So I have this, it's funny because I will subscribe to people's, I'll get a freebie or I'll subscribe to something that's floating around on the internet, whatever. And then every once in a while, I'll get an email and I cannot remember who it's from, especially if they don't have their name as part of their logo. And I forget, I don't build a connection, who they are. And a lot of times I unsubscribe because I don't know who it is. I haven't built that connection. So I think it's really important to include images. So adding images to your emails, it can really enhance their appeal and it makes you become more memorable. People process images faster than text, and visuals can help communicate your message more effectively. And here's why including an image is a good idea. So you build brand recognition. Consistently using an image of yourself, your logo, or your product helps build brand awareness and makes you more recognizable. Subscribers will start associating the visuals with your brand, which is crucial for long-term engagement. It creates emotional connection. Images can evoke emotion in ways that text can't. Whether it's a smiling face, a happy customer using your product, or behind the scenes shot of your team, visuals help humanize your brand and create that emotional connection with your subscribers. Another advantage of images, it breaks up the text. A well-placed image can break up blocks of text, making your email easier to read and more visually appealing. This keeps readers engaged and prevents your emails from feeling really overwhelming. Another way you can use imagery is it can highlight your product. So if you're promoting a product or service, show it off. High quality images of your product in action can increase interest and drive conversions. Okay, with that being said, be mindful not to overdo it. A single relevant image is often more effective than a cluttered email filled with a ton of images. Balance is key. And also, you want to make sure that your image to text ratio, you don't have more images than text because that could put you in the spam folder. Just a FYI right there. Okay. The next one is optimize for mobile devices. I see this all the time. With a growing number of users checking their emails on smartphones, it's really important to make sure that your emails are mobile friendly. If your email doesn't look good on a small screen, subscribers are more likely to delete it or unsubscribe. Here are some best practices for mobile optimization. Use a responsive design. Your email layout should be adjusted to different screen sizes so it looks good on both desktops and mobile devices. And a lot of times your programs, like I use Flowdesk, love Flowdesk. I'll put a coupon code in the show notes. Love Flowdesk, but there at the top, there's a little button when you go to edit and you can click on the mobile phone and it shows you what it looks like. And sometimes images don't convert over. So you need to make sure that you're double checking that. And that's what a responsive design is. It means you can show it on desktop and not on mobile or a tablet. Limit the text length. Keep subject lines short and avoid large blocks of text on your mobile devices because sometimes it just does not look good on mobile. Use large clickable buttons. Make sure your calls to actions are easy to tap on a mobile screen. Always test them. I try to send a test to my email and then I open it up on my mobile just to make sure that everything's working and looks good. Avoid tiny fonts. Choose a font size that is readable on smaller screens. Try to stay away from some of the fancier scripts because they are hard to read on small screens. Maybe that's just me because I can't see, but for the most part, I tell people to steer clear of those really fancy scripts because they are hard to read. Okay, and then the last thing is test, track, and optimize. Once your email is sent, the work doesn't stop. Track your metrics, like what are your open rates, click-through rates, and conversion rates to see how your emails are performing. If you have a program that uses A/B testing to experiment with different subject lines, try that, or different images, but look at your analytics, look at all your insights and see what's working and what's not. I think I did this last year, or maybe it was a couple years ago, where I made a list of my top opening emails. And I just kind of wanted to look at my subject lines and what worked. And then I wanted to replicate some of those because I knew that they worked with my audience. So make sure that you use the data, make sure that you're continually refining your emails to improve engagement. Writing a successful email to your subscribers, it takes thought and strategy. You're crafting this subject line, you're using imagery, you want to have great content, you personalize, there's all these things. It takes a little practice to get really good at writing emails. Including images isn't just about aesthetics. It's a tool that helps make your email more memorable and more engaging and more effective. But these are all things that have worked for me and worked for my clients. The average open rate you want to shoot for is between 30 to 40%, but for me, I try that because I've been doing it for so long, 40 to 50 is my goal. So try these things, work on your emails. Practice makes perfection. We know this, practice makes perfect. So keep practicing. And I promise you will start to love writing emails to your audience and your audience will love opening your emails. Anyway, I hope you found this helpful and I can't wait to read some of your emails. Let's not stop the party here. Head on over to my Instagram or Facebook group, Redefine Your Business, and let me know your thoughts about today's show. I will see you again, same time, same place, next week.